Welcome back to In Ohio Country today. Big Dan Wilson alongside of Kevin Haver. And Kevin is the director of the Johnny Appleseed Park District here in Allen County. Kevin, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Dan. I appreciate it very much.
You know, Kevin, before we get started and talking about what you do and your reason for being here at the West Central Ohio Land Conservancy meeting tonight, let's talk a little bit about your background. You still live on the old family farm, don't you?
That's right. My wife and I started purchasing the family farm back in 1990, and we raised our kids there. I've lived there every day of my life, and right now, the only thing we grow on that farm is wildlife. I've converted the whole thing back to conservation issues, and we absolutely love it. We have 4 grandsons under the age of 10, and they cannot wait to get to the farm and go fishing, go riding across the farm on the gator, go wildlife watching, and so forth.
You know, one of the things we talk about to our farmers on In Ohio Country today, and as we meet with agricultural families across the state of Ohio, is the fact that once a farmer, always a farmer. It's in your blood, isn't it?
It's definitely in your blood, and I call the time on the tractor therapy. To me, it's just getting out there. It's just you and the land, the things around you, so on and so forth, and to me, it's just good therapy.
You know, Kevin, you spoke highly about your personal relationship with the land, and that holds true with what you do on a regular basis. Let's talk about what's happening here in Allen County.
Well, the Johnny Appleseed Park District has grown through the years. It's been very steady growth. And I've been with the Park District 42 years at this point. And again, to see where we started out, to have the support of the people is the most gratifying part of that. I feel like we've kind of proven ourselves to the citizens. It was a rough start, and many park districts get off to a rough start. But with the professional staff we have, the things we've been able to do, the support of the people, and again, just seeing that kid catch his first fish in one of our park ponds, to see their eyes open up when they see a caterpillar or a butterfly or a turtle or whatever it is, and then the senior adults, it brings them back to their childhood. And that's what, again, there's just so many gratifying aspects of the park district, the things we've been able to do, and again, the support of the people that we have here in Allen County. We're terrifically grateful for all of that.
You know, of course, 88 counties in the beautiful Buckeye State. Allen County is just one of 88. And what you've been able to do with the park district under your management has just been amazing. It's been fascinating. It's been purposeful, if you will, for the people here of Allen County. But let's talk about the relationship between Allen County's Park District and what's happening in the state of Ohio.
Well, across the state of Ohio, there are a number of counties that have park districts. Not all counties do, and not all of the park districts that have been formed are really up and running and active. So I think we set a good example. I really do think we've set a good example of what a park district, a metropolitan park district, should be. The term metropolitan is a little bit of a misnomer. It was actually created back in 1917 around the Cleveland Metro Parks. And at that time, it meant to get out of the metropolitan area to the Emerald Necklace. And again, it's become a bit of a misnomer, but again, it's pretty much the same thing here in Allen County and across the state of Ohio. Metro parks are the natural areas and preserves parks, the passive types of recreation. And that's not to demean or badmouth active recreation that the cities and the villages and some of the township park districts across the state of Ohio do. It's just a different aspect of recreation. So we play a vital role in that across the state of Ohio, but especially for here in Allen County and our surrounding neighbors.
Well, let's talk about what goes into the funding aspect of it, what allows you to do all the good things that you can do here in Allen County.
Park districts, metro park districts by Ohio Revised 1545, Ohio Revised Code 1545, are limited to property taxes. And let's face it, Dan, property taxes are the least favored type of taxation, especially in the ag community. But it's kind of turned around. Not all of the farmers here in Allen County are for us, but they understand. and it's kind of like what I said before, having that relationship with nature, with the land, so on and so forth. But the funding aspect of this park district, we are funded by property taxes, and the people have taxed themselves. You know, I'm often told, well, you passed a tax levy. No, I voted once. You know, it's the other, all the other voters in Allen County that supported our tax levy that makes this park district go. And we have a professional staff. That levy supports that professional staff. So again, we are able to do that because of the support of the people, the financial support of the people, but coming out to our programs, coming out to our parks, and utilizing what they have paid for. And that encourages us all that much more to go for outside monies to do a lot of the things we do. We're exceptionally assertive on grants. We have started the Park District Foundation of Allen County, a 501c3 nonprofit funding source for the park district. And again, a lot of people are supporting that now. They're thinking about their estate planning and so forth, getting with the Park District Foundation, things along the line of their IRAs, mandatory distributions at 70 and a half. A lot of people are recognizing and realizing, and frankly, some of them are kind of surprised that the IRS requires you take those mandatory distributions at 70 and a half. And again, some of those types of things are coming to our foundation. We've done shelter houses. We've done a lot of the programming. Our amphitheater programming in particular is all through the foundation, not the local tax dollars. So we're getting support from a number of different angles here to do what we're able to do.
You know, Kevin, I was really impressed to hear you talk about your relationship with farmers, and especially farmers that have adjacent properties to existing parks here in Allen County. It's neat to see that there's a love affair, if you will, to preserve land, and especially here today with the West Ohio Land Conservancy meeting that we have here today. There are more individuals than you would expect that are actively involved in preserving this land, and not only from an environmental standpoint, but also to be able to preserve it for nature as a whole. And let's talk about some of those synergies, if you will.
All right, yeah, the Park District has worked in concert with our neighbors. And again, being upfront about it, in the past, there's been some of that NIMBY syndrome. You know, the parks are going to bring all the bad people out here. The parks are going to do this. Well, look at our parks and look at what we have done to enhance those neighborhoods, those agricultural neighborhoods. You know, we keep our road fronts clean. There is no litter there. And again, it's kind of almost the opposite effect of that NIMBY syndrome. We've gone above and beyond, and we try to be good neighbors. We've actually worked together with adjacent landowners on their drainage issues, and sometimes that comes through a corner of the park, and we'll work with them. In some cases, we've actually done those enhancements ourselves that benefits us, the people that own the parks, the citizens, but also the adjacent landowners. And then the other part of that too is we provide natural areas for a lot of the wildlife. And again, if the wildlife's not on our property, they're on their property. So again, there's a lot of different angles, a lot of different approaches there that we kind of benefit with one another, with our agricultural neighbors. Concerning the West Central Ohio Land Conservancy, we have a lot of very similar objectives. And the Park District actually played a small role in getting the Land Conservancy here started. I handled their funding at first, and again, until they got up and running. So we go way back to the very beginning with the West Central Ohio Land Conservancy. I am 100% behind Land Conservancy and the ag districts and preserving farmland because, again, that farmland buffers our parks, and our parks buffer that farmland. So that preservation aspect is extremely important for both the Conservancy, the Park District, and in reality, all of us, all of the citizens.
Well, you know, Kevin, I think the hot button issue, if you will, for everybody, whether you're in the city or in the rural areas, of course, is water quality. And this is an example of how organizations are working to protect the environment. And I think it's an important message that our friends and our viewers in the urban areas need to know, that our farmers are working hard with organizations such as the park districts, such as the conservancies, whether it's the Nature Conservancy or the West Ohio Land Conservancy, to be able to protect our environment and to improve our water quality, which is, again, one of those hot button issues.
That's right. And, you know, I want to get away from the concept of the park district being tree huggers. We are not. That's kind of a derogatory term. We do preserve areas, but we get people on those areas. It's not like it's an area that you can't go to and enjoy. But going back to the water quality aspect, the Park District here in recent years in particular has gone above and beyond in protecting water quality. To put up those filters, you know, we as landowners, as farmers, we use a lot of filter strips, and that's fantastic. But we have bigger, wider stretches of land adjacent to our waterways that really hold that water and allow that sediment, allow those chemicals to settle out. And that, to me, is as important, if not more important, than the very narrow, sometimes narrow filter strips that's being put in out there.
Well, you know, Kevin, we barely touched the tip of the iceberg when we come to talking about the land and the environment, especially all the wonderful things that you're doing. But you talked a little bit about retirement. Before we let you go, I want to ask you flat out. I mean, what's your proudest moment? What's your proudest accomplishment in your long tenure here in Allen County?
I'd have to say developing the professional staff that we have. You know, it's kind of seldom where a guy that's been here as long as I have, over 4 decades, to walk out and not be worried about it. I'm not concerned about it. These parks are in great hands. They're going to be in great hands. And the professional staff, and it's not just their knowledge, it's not just their strong work ethic, it's the way they work together and cross the line of department to department to department, and then also working together out in the community. We're involved in the community. We're involved in a number of different groups, and we try our best to interact with them and to work together to make all of Allen County better, not just the parks, but all of it. And again, I'd have to go back to the staff, the professional staff.
That's great, Kevin. If people want more information about the Johnny Appleseed Metro Park District here in Allen County, where can they go?
Our website is phenomenal. Our website is award-winning class, and it's johnnyappleseedparks.com. You can actually fly with the drone through our parks on our website. And it's a pretty neat website, I have to say, johnnyappleseedparks.com. Obviously, they can call our office at 419-221-1232. But I encourage people to get on the website.
Well, Kevin, it's been great visiting with you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Appreciate it very much, Dan.
And we'll be back with more In Ohio Country Today right after this.